we're so excited to meet you.
Same.
And to be here with you, Julian Muller. We are going to talk more about mental health when touring now,
Yeah.
which sounds like I'm not very good at. I'm not touring, but
Oh, yeah. You quite know a bit now, huh?
exactly following your footsteps. But what would you say what has been your experience when touring and with your view on your journey with your own mental health
Um.
during these years?
So I think, well, for me, there is also one thing that changed a lot. So beside beginning to become old, I have this Lyme disease, so it made me realize how much, whether you have a disease or not, but how much it is important to find a balance, especially in this industry that require a lot of your energy and mental energy. So if I would have to, get a small, like to explain a little bit more my journey or give my feeling on it, it's like it has been tough, not easy. I would not complain because I know there is jobs that are really harder. We are lucky to do this job and to travel the world and to play music and to not have to work on a daily basis in the week. But it's not really easy touring like every week, meeting different people and going back home and trying to settle and have a balanced life.
Yeah. You also mentioned Lyme disease. Like, how many years have you been aware of it?
Now I'm aware of it for maybe 3.5 or 4 years. So I was sick already for 2 years, but it was hard to find that it was Lyme disease. And so yeah, I was about to not continue doing music, to be honest.
Really?
Because yeah, my doctor told me like Lyme and touring or DJ life is really not compatible. It's really
Have they been seeing it before, or they just understand that it's
from the symptom, like you really have this intense fatigue, dizziness, and then it's like a roller coaster where you can be really, really exhausted. But like for people to understand better, when you get this really heavy flu, you have muscle pain and you can barely move. It can be that for many weeks.
you have to cancel gigs.
Yes, I canceled a lot. I think I'm the DJ who cancelled the most gigs in the industry, which is not super nice and not super understood by the industry. I made a statement, public statement, last year to explain why I was cancelling and why I will have to keep cancelling some show and why I can't. Sometimes that you have like this specific months where you're going to be sick because your immune system is like low or winter. For me, it's impossible to know in advance. So when it kicks, it kicks. And when it kicks and I have to cancel, it kind of have to be a last minute cancellation all the time.
Really? How long before do you feel it?
It comes. So it like usually if I take a normal, because there is not always the same pattern, but let's say the most common pattern is like I will start to become tired and dizzy in the morning. Then I know it's kicking back, but sometimes it can be only for 2 days. And then I'm fine. If it happened on Tuesday, Thursday, I'm back on track and I can go do my show. Sometimes it just stays and then it gets worse and worse. And beginning of this year, we're going to go back in a way to the mental health. Beginning of this year, I pushed myself a bit to try to make it. I played the last show in Amsterdam. That wasn't supposed to be a last show. It was supposed to be one show. And I realized, okay, I'm not going to make it anymore. So we canceled 3 weeks in a row to make, also to give promoter an opportunity to find something like a solution before just canceling last minute and putting them in bad situation. And and then the mental health started to fuck up big time because
this year.
Yeah, it was the first year where I realized that it was not only physical and due to my disease, but also mentally. Like I was weak for sure with Lyme, but I also maybe pushed too hard on touring and trying to become a part of the scene, trying to get involved in many, let's say, outside topic, Me Too, whatever, Ukraine, I wanted to be involved in all this topic because I come from this type of background, you know, of trying to, no, I don't like to say that, but it's some cheesy, but trying to make the world a better place in a way. And yeah, it was just too much. And if you add the disease, or even without the disease, if you push too hard and you don't listen to your body and to your head, you start to crash. And
So can I ask, did you not have the same intuition then? Were you forced to like understand signals?
yeah, I had to. I mean, I got helped with therapy to, you know,
Okay.
read better through the line. But I started to understand. I mean, it took me years to understand the signal of Lyme, which is already something important for me. But then the mental health really kicked this year, you know, like really understood like how touring and how, you know, competitive became this industry compared to when I started.
Yeah, when did you start? How many years ago is it now?
I was 18, so it was
Oh yeah, 12.
12 years ago. And yeah, so when I started, it was really different. There were not so many DJ. There were not so many producers. There were not, like, making music was not accessible to everyone.
Could you still earn money on it, or was it?
Yeah, but it was a side job for many
Yeah.
years. Because back in the days, you couldn't only be a DJ, or barely. You had to make music. You had to, you know, we didn't have the power of Instagram. So you had to just be really good with what you were doing. And yeah, as any like upcoming artist, I was learning. So, but I was happy to have, like, you know, I was living in Berlin. I played a lot in Berlin as a local artist. I had the chance that Trésor back in the day gave me a chance to play really often, which, you know, was a really good like opening door to the industry to me. But the scene was different. And also, I think the topic of mental health related to touring was not really on the table because there were not so many DJ touring. And, you know, the parallel is easy for me. I mean, it's my perception, it's easy to understand. If you have less artists doing it, it gives more like time and room for promoter or club to be professional, to make this artist happy. Today, if I'm not happy with one detail of a club, or they have 2,000 artists that's going to take the show for you for less money maybe, so it's so competitive that you have to swallow more than try to make it right, you know. You have to accept that things are going to be sometimes not good or too heavy.
Yeah. How do you handle that competitiveness?
I don't handle it.
You
Let's
don't?
be honest, I
You
don't.
skip it?
No, I'm trying to walk around it, but it's not easy. I think it played a major role in me crashing early this year. I mean, my agent, I'm really close to my agency. I'm lucky. They are really understanding everything and really supporting. They were already giving me signal end of last year by my talk, my way of approaching things. They were like, you're getting really like salty and you compare yourself too much to other, and you are trying to, you know, you are overthinking basically things that you cannot really change or do. So, and you really look too much social network, for example, you know, like all
In
these.
what ways did you
I mean, is it
partying?
more like in the other artist journey, you know, seeing like, oh, some other artists evolve while sometimes you don't make the
Okay.
same
I thought you
evolution.
were like trying to make the connections and put yourself in social situations that trained you.
No, this is like this I did before. Now I gave up with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my friend. I'm happy to meet new people, but I'm not forcing anything. If I'm tired or not feeling it, you know, I just stay in my hotel or stay at home. It's fine. But it's more like in the competitiveness of, yeah, the industry in general. You know, the more you have, it's all industry are the same. The more you have people doing the same job, the more it become hard to, yeah, to keep yourself relevant.
And what do you have any tips?
Tips? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna sound pretty simple because I give these tips a lot and I gave it back in the days too. Did I listen to my tips all the time? No, but we are all doing the same, right? We give advice and we don't listen to it, so kind of normal. But I would say that, yeah, try to really focus on what drive you, you know. So, and some people, let's be honest, some people are not driven by the passion of music, and it's fine.
You mean some musicians are not driven by music?
No, some are just like, you know, they want to be out there. They don't really aim to be influencer. It's easy to make music.
Do you think that they can make it still if they're
Yeah,
not?
I mean, I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but it's not new. There is at least 30% of the industry made of these artists.
They're not interested in music.
No.
But
They are
that's
interested in party, maybe, you know, and having fun, and having a good social media presence, and being famous, and having fans. Are they really passionate about the movement of electronic music? Are they really driven by the passion of creating something? No, I don't think. It's fine. If they really go for it, it's fine. And this is also something I learned back in the days. This would turn me really mad, you know, really mad. I would be like, you know, like a purist guy, like, wow, why are we like now pushing, you know, the spotlight to people who don't care about music? Now I learned that, yeah, it is as it is. It is as it is, you know, like they are here, they are happy, they are making money. It's good for them. I'm happy for them. They can make good money, and I have to focus on me. And this is the balance that is really hard to find.
But how can you create good music? just don't get it.
They don't create good music.
But what is it?
They are DJing most of the time. They do one track that works for TikTok.
But selecting good music.
They are not selecting good music. No, but I mean, told you before the interview, I'm not gonna turn around. At least I'm not dropping name, which is good.
Yeah.
I will not.
No.
But and it's not my plan. Is not to attack them. As I said, it's more like, you know, especially now that TikTok became a thing, we are a bit in the fast food industry, or that's my perception.
Fast food industry.
You know, it's like fast consumption. So these artists or people, they don't need to work really hard on the track or to make good music. They need to make a track that's going to work on a short reel on Instagram or TikTok. That's going to get a bit big because the kids are going to dance to it, and then it's gone. But they got a bit of hype of it, and they will get gigs out of it. So it's not even about the amount of work they put in music. It's just about using the code that works online to make something that is easy to do, you know, and then building your image around it. Because making music, even if it's not my type, that is easy to do. Yeah, everyone can do it. Using that and that small moment of hype to build your image, it's super easy. I respect that. I would not be able to do.
No, exactly. It's not easy. Exactly.
It's not easy.
It takes a talent.
That's what I mean. It's like you have people who do that driven by music, and most of the time these people are not good at being out there as a, you know, on social media and stuff. Some of them have the chance that their music is so good and that we still have a crowd that is interested about music, that they can make it. But I know most of the most talented artists I know, their Instagram or their social network looks shit, and they are not where they should belong. They should belong to, you know, to the best event, best party on earth. They are not there because they didn't use social media the right way. And on the other side, you have artists that I personally find not relevant or interesting, that are, you know, out there in the big club, big festival, because they are really good with managing their social media presence. And yeah, the idolizing is a big part of it. I mean, I don't think we should ask the old school DJ and artists, you know, and that's something, if one day you interview someone that is there, you know, since the beginning, please ask this person how it was. I don't think there were this trend of taking photo after gigs most of the time. I don't think there were like these needs to do merch.
But we didn't even have phones with camera.
No, but photo were happening. I mean,
true,
Michael Jackson and Elvis Presley,
Okay,
everybody was taking a photo. I don't think that Robert Hood back in the days, everybody asked him to make a photo, or even Richie Houghton when he started, you know. I don't think so.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong. But from my experience, because luckily I met some people that were from the early Berlin, you know, after the wall fell, And when Love Parade happened, I met some of these people when I was in Berlin. They are the one who shaped my profile outside, not in the scene, but like teaching me, showing me how it was. So this is how I came to playing this type of music, because I fell in love with something else than what it is now. And yeah, it was never about video, photo. Sometime I was asking, do you have a photo of this gig? Why? I'm like, I don't know. No, we were just living the moment. And when they see, sometimes I speak to my friend, I'm like, oh, yesterday after the show, there were so many people asking me to take picture, and I even realized some didn't know who I was. This is where we are. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, some people even told me, this you can keep it, it's going to be a funny one. Some people took a photo and started to tag Oscar Mulero. This is where we are, it's just taking a photo to take a photo to say you were with the DJ. So the whole industry have changed, and some artists were smart enough to take the train. It's as easy as that, realizing, okay, do I need to work hard on music? No.
It's funny. Steph was just passing by here and said the same thing. She's like, it was so crazy yesterday. People were just seeing me and they want to take photo of me all the time, like selfies with me all the time. And she was like, it was so crazy. You
Yeah.
know, like, what's going on? She was like shocked.
No, and honestly, yeah, so people can maybe, I don't like that. Don't ask me to take a photo. I mean, if I'm in a good mood hanging with you and we are having a bond and a connection, I'm fine with it to take a photo. And I know a lot of artists will be like, oh, you're fucking arrogant saying that. No, listen to my music, buy my record, stream my music, like share my content on social media. This is how you can show me your love. Taking a picture with me doesn't give anything. Neither to me, neither to you. You don't need to. I mean, anyway, after gigs, I'm looking like a zombie. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's if I hear you right, it's also like the when the credibility has no depth.
yeah,
Yeah. Like it becomes so empty, and I guess, of course, as a musician who's passionate about the scene, it's a lot of scares in that.
yeah, it is. It is. And now, if we take the parallel, this drive your mental health to go down. Because, you spoke with Daria and Sergey about the amount of touring that can fuck you up. That's one topic that is super important. And this is something I can definitely relate. We have this, when I said competitivity now, you have to announce this amount of show. So the people are like, wow, this DJ is so cool. It's going to do like 20 shows in 30 days.
Everyone wants him.
Yeah, no, and if, that's something for the younger people that were not in the scene back in the days. I remember, Motor City Drum Ensemble, MCDE. So he was a house DJ, huge, he still is one of the most respected house and disco DJ. And he made, you can go check on YouTube, a resident advisor interview about how he decided to stop touring. He was one of the best. He was in the first Deck Mantel, Boiler Room, that was wild. He's such a good selector. And yeah, he started to have anxiety and panic attack related to touring. So he decided to stop. And if we take it to another level, Avicii killed himself for the same reason. So this needs of having a heavy schedule, which is basically driven by the big guy of the industry, not by the small artists. The small artists, they need to make it. So for sure, for a few years, you're going to have to play a lot.
It's interesting what you say. I can also hear sometimes when speaking with artists, they're like, my booking agent has been so patient with me. And it's something I hear a lot. And it always makes me wonder, like, who's in control or who's in power in the situation?
That's a lot of time. And for me, I always take the parallel to the Avicii, because I saw the documentary. Even though it's EDM, I don't care. It's an artist that was touring in electronic music industry. And his manager has blood on his hand because he tried to push.
Definitely.
But luckily now we have more and more agency understanding that. But in the agency, in the techno industry, when I had to make a choice, I knew why I was going to my agency and not to some other where I really love the agent, but they are still on this aim to push you to make as much show as you can so you get there. And you would think, okay, now that I got...
they make money.
Yeah, they make money.
Yeah.
They get their artist being big. And then you would think, okay, now the artist is big, he's going to tour less because he don't need to tour so much. No, he keeps doing it because the more you have, the more you want. It's easy. Now, I spoke to so many of the biggest DJ in the industry, and I asked them, why do you do that? If I would have the chance to be so, in demand, I would take for sure a month, get paid more, for sure, because you become more rare, you know, it's basic, you know, it's and then you have a healthy life, you made it, you had your 3-4 years of hard touring, now you enjoy when you go to the show, you can have fun, because it's not fun. I don't think you can have fun by doing a gigs every 3 days. It's impossible. So that's
Yeah, it's really interesting. And also, we're talking like a long time ago with Brutalismus and their view on touring, and they said that back then that they preferred, like they wanted to have like 6 weeks a year where they toured, and then the rest of that just be home and stay with their, like, produce music and be
But
with
it's
family
impossible.
and friends.
But it's impossible. But I don't know for them. But in general, it's like, if you really want to do that, you're gonna have to fight to do it. But you have to be relevant.
Yeah.
You have to be there. And I do believe, even though it's not about music taste or something, Brutalismus made it. They could now say we do 3 months per year, and people would fight to book them, you know. But now it's a choice of whether it's agency or their choice, I don't know. But it's not only for them, it's for many artists. You have still the choice in your hand. So yes, you can blame agent for pushing you, but at the end of the story, you can also decide for yourself. And this is why I'm super lucky with my agency, because if I call them and I say, look, I cannot make it, yes, sometimes they will be like, bro, go do your show, you know. But if I say, look, I'm not feeling it, I'm sick, exhausted, I'm on the edge of crashing, they will follow me and they will not give up. They could have kicked me from the agency long time ago for giving up on so many shows, which is not good for their image. But they are doing it because they believe in me, they believe in their work too. They know, yeah, okay, we're gonna work maybe a bit harder, but we're gonna make you get what you need to get, because you work for you're driven by the patient. So so that's one part of mental health, you know, touring. And then, as I say, you have the competitivity, and you have the industry that is not really for me healthy place anymore. You know,
Yeah.
it's not healthy anymore, whether we speak about healthy in terms of drugs and alcohol consumption, or also healthy in terms of how artists behave toward each other. You know, it's all about using a little bit what you can use from each artist, and then, you know, giving up. I experienced that.
That sounds brutal.
It is for me. This is why, you know, I don't do interview most of the time. We spoke about it, but I say that if I have to speak to someone, I still want to be able to say that, because I think a lot of artists relate to me, but I may be just too shy to say it loud. Because you look now, if we take, I don't know what we will keep, but if we take everything I said, I'm just gonna sound salty, you know. And why people will be like, then why are you still doing that? You know, you don't seem happy. I am. I love my job. I love doing that. I love playing, and I love people that are, you know, like showing me love. Not through taking photo, but, you know, through other way of showing me love. I love that. I'm like, honestly, I think if I wouldn't have that, I would be depressed with my disease. That's what, you know, keep me alive and driven. But on the other side, it's not because I love my, you know, my job that I have to accept and say that everything is beautiful and so nice. It became a really unhealthy industry to me. And I think after 12 years, I have enough background to start to say that, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
No worries.